Hey guys, Beasley here with Tennessee Wildlife Federation and the Hunting and Fishing Academy. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about duck calling. A big part of the Hunting and Fishing Academy is teaching our program participants the skills that they need to be successful in the field. And when you're talking about duck hunting, duck calling is definitely one of the tools that you want to have in your arsenal or in your bag to be able to go out and be successful as a waterfowl hunter. So we're going to talk a little bit about the different types of calls that you might encounter, some of the different materials that they're made of, the different sounds that we're trying to emulate, and how to make those sounds in an actual hunting scenario. So if you'll see here on my lanyard, I've got several different calls. You can see they come in all different shapes and sizes. There's different types, and they're all very similar, and the way that you use them is actually very similar. There's different calls made of wood, different types of plastic, acrylics, and they all serve the same purpose, but they all sound a little bit different, and the way that you use them might be a little bit different. You'll see this call here in my hand here. It's more kind of along the lines of what you would call like an acrylic call. These are a little bit more expensive generally, but just about any type of call on the market is going to look something like this. There's two pieces to every duck call. As you can see here, it's in one. You can take it apart though. You've got your barrel and you've got your insert. The barrel is where you would put your mouth on the duck call to blow the air through to make the sounds. And then the insert here is what actually is producing that sound. You'll notice here on the soundboard at the bottom, on top of that, there's going to be at least one or two different reeds. Some duck calls have one, some have two, some even have three, but most of the general duck calls that you're going to see on the market, if you were to go to the store or order one online, it's probably going to be a double reed call. And these reeds are usually made of a plastic material. You can get them in different types of material as well. There's some duck calls that have brass reeds that generally produce a much louder sound. But for the most part, you're going to be looking at a plastic reed duck call with one or two reeds. And then there's usually going to be some type of cork or piece of rubber right here that holds those reeds in place. That way, when you blow air through the call and the air travels over those reeds, it holds it in place to produce the sound that you want to see. So now that we've talked a little bit about some of the different types of calls, the components of them, what exactly are we trying to accomplish when we're talking about duck calls and duck calling? Most of the time, in most cases, you're trying to emulate the sounds of a hen mallard. And pretty much any duck call on the market, whether you spend $25 or $200, that's kind of the overall purpose of what that call is designed to do, is to produce a hen mallard call. Most ducks in a hunting scenario will respond to a mallard call. And so here in a second, we're going to talk a little bit more about what those sounds are and then how to make them. One of the reasons that many people like myself love duck hunting is that it's a very interactive type of hunting experience, meaning ducks are very vocally oriented creatures, right? They make all different types of sounds, they communicate with one another, and our part as hunters and what we're trying to accomplish is to mimic those sounds, right? To bring the ducks in close. So before you pick up a duck call and just start making noise, you want to know exactly the types of sounds that you're trying to make, right? We want to know how ducks sound in the wild so that we can make natural sounding duck calls when we're in the blind. The first main thing that you want to learn when you're duck calling is a simple quack. Ducks, if you go around the park or around the lake, or if you've ever been around them, a simple quack is all that we're trying to start with. As a beginner, that's the first thing that you should practice. Don't try to do anything else until you can really get down a simple quack. From there, you'll notice that ducks make lots of other sounds. They string multiple quacks together. You might hear hunters reference a welcoming call or a greeting call, and that's simply when a hen mallard strings together several quacks in a row when other ducks are in the area flying over above. She's trying to get their attention. She's saying, "Hey guys, I'm down here. This is where I'm at," trying to bring them in close. And so that's what we're trying to do when we do a welcoming call. We're trying to get the ducks' attention so that hopefully they fly over us and give us a little bit closer look. A couple other sounds that you would notice when duck calling or listening to wild ducks is you'll hear a feeding call. So we might talk about that in a second, how to make a feeding call. But what that means is that when ducks are on the water and they're feeding, they're eating, they make short little quacks that sound a little bit different than a general quack. And you can string several of those together using a duck call to sound like multiple ducks feeding in that area. Drake mallards, the greenheads that we like to call them, they're not the ones that are producing those loud quacks that the hens are, but they also make noise. And so we'll talk a little bit more about the sounds that they make and how you can implement that to just add more realism to your hunting experience. So that's just a few helpful tips for you guys in beginning to learn how to duck call. We hope this has been a helpful video for you and hope that it's at least given you the confidence to pick up a duck call and start playing around with it. Our Hunting and Fishing Academy exists to help teach you guys these skills. We have workshops all across the state designed to help give you hands-on experience, hands-on practice in learning these different skills. We have these all across the state for different types of species. There's definitely one near you. So check out our website to learn more about those experiences and how you can get involved with our Hunting and Fishing Academy. Give us a follow on our socials as well and let us know how we can help. We want to teach you guys and help where we can. So reach out to us, check out our workshops, all the different upcoming experiences across the state. They're designed to help you. So let us know how we can do that. And if you haven't already done so, you can go to gooutdoorstennessee.com to buy all your hunting and fishing licenses that you will need to get outdoors this season. Thanks and see you soon.